everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Brunswald. In today's episode we'll be working on quite a few different things. We start off by putting down a modern mall, and we'll also be doing a construction site, and then later on in the time-lapse we'll be working on some suburbs and also a church. But right now we were working on this pedestrian bridge that I wanted to connect the train station to the whole, I guess, marina area and that whole contemporary district we did in the last episode. So yeah, I used this pedestrian bridge here. I can't really remember the name of this one, but yeah, I wanted to have something more special, not just like a vanilla pedestrian bridge. So I went with that one. It had like some roof and stuff, or like a roof. And actually a lot of people are using that one, so that's pretty cool to see. Alright, so you can see here that I'm, I guess, building this mall right here. Doing some stuff around it. And this mall was suggested from the last episode. So in case you watched the last one, I asked for suggestions in this empty spot here. And the most upvoted comment was from Marmalade and Spee, and he suggested a real modern mall. So I thought that was a pretty good idea, and also it seems like, or it seemed like most people also thought that. So yeah, I put down this one. I think it's called IFC Mall. There is some text on it, which I can't really see currently in the time-lapse, but I think it's IFC Mall, something like that. And I think it's a Korean mall, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it worked out pretty nice, because, yeah, IFC mall, that's correct. But I think it worked out pretty nice, because it just felt pretty generic, you know, there wasn't any, like, specific language on the mall, which I think was really nice, and that's why I wanted to use this one. And also, this comes in two different pieces, so I had to combine these in a good way, I guess. I sort of played around with, you know, designing the whole shape for this mall quite a bit off camera. And then I came up with this design, which I think works the best. And then instead of doing like a big parking lot here, because, yeah, I just didn't want to have a parking lot, I put down this underground parking entrance that we used a lot in the last episode as well. But I wanted to use that one again. Didn't really want to make a like big parking lot, which will take up a lot of space, which space is something that is probably pretty valuable in this area right here. But I'm putting down like a few tables and stuff here, making like this sort of Starbucks outside, because usually in these malls you have like a few, maybe like cafes and restaurants and stuff on the outside here. And yeah, this plaza right in front here just looked a little bit empty, so I wanted to put down some outside serving areas. And we also have that like monument there in the middle of the plaza, which is actually a vanilla one. I just went into the asset editor and just got rid of all the props and trees. It's actually a park, but I just wanted to have the monument itself, and I think it looked nice. So yeah, but now we're putting down some more sidewalks and stuff here. And once again, these are these sidewalks that aren't really able to be used by the pedestrians. I could probably put like some invisible pathways on top of those, but I think the invisible pathways that I have are just a little bit too wide, so yeah. But I'm making this loading area right here, and I sort of realized that we should definitely have some type of like loading area for the mall. Because the mall just doesn't come with any loading area. It's just like these like glass buildings, and it doesn't have any loading docks or anything like that. So I put down some of these prefab walls, and also that loading door by Bear Monkey, and I think it turned out nice. Sorry for that. And yeah, I think it turned out nice. We definitely needed a place for the trucks to drop off the stuff for all of these stores inside the mall, and I think it turned out pretty nice. This is a pretty tight spot for the trucks to pull in, so I'd imagine that there would just be like smaller trucks delivering stuff here, and that's why I put this one here. I didn't really want to have one of those like larger trucks because yeah, I guess they would just go to some other distribution center first, and then these smaller trucks would pick up from there and deliver to this mall. And it's right next to the entrance for the for the underground parking, so I made sure to put like some bollards with arrows and stuff so the cars know where to actually go down. And there's obviously a gate there as well, which is just pretty nice to have for an area like that. And now I'm just placing down a lot of bicycle stands here, because I would imagine that in Brunswald a lot of people like to bicycle, and I definitely want to have a lot of these here so people can easily get here. And yeah, this area is pretty accessible with public transport, to be honest. Like, it is now all connected with that pedestrian bridge to the train station. And we have like, well, I guess bicycles isn't really public transport, but yeah, we also have like the bus running there. And I noticed that there were some people asking for like a bus station and stuff in this area. And there actually is like a bus station at the train station. Which we did in the train station episode. It's not a massive one, but there actually is one. So yeah, and I don't know if it will do like a bigger one, probably, but yeah. So right now we are putting down this construction site here, and this was suggested by Jesus Crespo. He suggested quite a few different things, and I decided to take another suggestion from someone else. Yeah, because we had more space in this area, and I guess it just made sense to get another suggestion. And I decided to do this construction site here, and I think it turned out pretty cool. He said that it was supposed to be a construction site for the last high-rise of this area. I don't know, this might be a high-rise or not, it doesn't really matter. Like, the area of this building is pretty big, so I don't know if it would be a high-rise, but yeah, I really like how this construction site turned out. It's in a pretty tight space, I guess. So yeah, I had to squeeze in a lot of like construction equipment and stuff and try to do that in a good way. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. And yeah, I'm just putting down a lot of these floors and stuff here, and I actually stacked, I think it was like 3 floors or whatever, just to make this one higher. I like to do that because you can't really decide the heights of the cranes when you put those down. So I like to make it, you know, seem like it's been built a little bit more, so it actually makes sense for the height of the crane to be where it is. And yeah, I just like doing that for construction sites. But I'm actually gonna leave you with some music now, and yeah, as usual. And then I'm gonna tune back in a few minutes, and we'll talk a little bit more about the stuff we are doing on the time-lapse then. So yeah, enjoy some music, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so we've been making these suburbs for Brunswald now for a bit, and I thought it was time to do a little bit more of this. We did a bit of this in a time-lapse, which was like a few weeks ago, or probably like more than a month ago, but yeah, I don't know if you watched that, but we did some suburbs there, but other than that, we haven't really done a lot of suburbs, honestly. In this project, so I thought it was time to do some more of this, and we actually don't have too much like left to do like in the main city center and the like core of the city, so it will be a lot of I guess just outskirts of the city we'll be working on. So yeah, this is like around the Million program and the university area, between those areas and the harbor pretty much. So this is where this is located, and I wanted to fill out this area. I sort of wanted to, I guess, connect the city with the harbor. Not really connect, because we will have like farms and stuff in between these suburbs and the harbor. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of fill in this whole area up here. It's been a while since we worked in this area. So yeah, but I'm obviously using all of these buildings by Avania, which is the, I think it's just European suburbia or something like that. And honestly think these are just like the best like European suburb buildings, honestly, in game at the moment. And yeah, so this is a content creator pack, in case you're interested in getting these. But yeah, I've had these for a long time, and they just work really nice. They look very good. And I'm using these road series. You can see that asphalt road there, and it doesn't really have like any sidewalks that are like above the actual road itself, which I kind of liked for these suburbs. And I also just wanted to mix up the roads a little bit. And yeah, I have to like figure out the transition between those roads and the other ones, because the asphalt just sort of ends abruptly there, which is a little bit weird, but I think it's fine if you just put like some drains or something like that there. But yeah, I think those turns, I think those roads turn out pretty cool. And I also had to put down some manual like parked cars, because cars can't really park on those roads automatically in game. So I had to put down a few myself just to make it look a little bit better. And yeah, so actually I think those like sidewalks on those roads are just way too wide, honestly. And I think there should be like cars parked on those ones and have the pedestrians walk like the furthest away from the actual road itself, like exactly on the edge of the sidewalks. So there could be like cars parking in between. I think that would be pretty nice for those roads, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. I had to do it manually now, just placing down the cars myself, which I guess takes up a little bit of the prop limits, but I think it's fine. And yeah, but now we're doing some farms here, and as I said, wanted to sort of connect up the area between the city and the harbor. And yeah, these farms are pretty nice. I started using these, and I will also go in and replace the farm decals that we did in that episode with the countryside castle, because these farms are just much easier to work with, and yeah, they just work way better. And right now I'm extending this road here, which I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, just like continuing this road, because it looked a little bit weird having it just end there. So I extended that a bit and connected it a little bit further out, and then we also put down a church here. So I've seen some comments about churches in the city, that we should have more of them, and I realized that I had this one downloaded, and I decided to do a church for this episode. And it has like a pretty big graveyard actually, and I don't know, I think this one turned out really nice. And then I put some of these like garbage things here, just where they could keep like maintenance stuff for the graveyard, and like maybe wheelbarrows or whatever. I couldn't really find any wheelbarrows, which kind of sucked, but yeah, just like two, I don't know what those are called, like sheds or something. Yeah, put those there. I think it turned out pretty nice. And then just putting a bunch of trees and bushes and stuff around this graveyard, and putting down benches as well. Just making it all look pretty nice. But yeah, I really like this church asset. It just works really nice. I like the size of it as well, and I think it fits pretty well in this part of the city. Yeah, this time lapse is coming to an end, so I hope you, or I guess this episode is coming to an end. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, make sure to leave a like, and also make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. And that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye bye.